Chapter 1. A mysterious arrival. In the year 1579, a figure unlike any seen before walked the streets of Kyoto, towering over the crowds at over 6 feet tall, with skin as dark as the night and a presence that commanded attention. He was a mystery. Who was this man, and how did he come to find himself at the heart of one of the most turbulent periods in Japanese history? This man was Yasuke, a name that would soon echo through the halls of power, through battles and across time. His story begins not in Japan, but across the seas in a land foreign and exotic to the Japanese eye. Yasuke's true origins remain partially shrouded in mystery. Some scholars suggest he hailed from Mozambique. Others propose Ethiopia or Sudan. He may have been captured during the brutal age of Portuguese colonial expansion and brought to India, and from there to Japan. What we do know is that Yasuke arrived in Japan as a servant or bodyguard to Alessandro Valignano, a Jesuit missionary. The Jesuits had a mission to spread Christianity across Asia, and they knew the importance of impressing local rulers. Yasuke, with his imposing figure and calm demeanor, was the perfect companion to achieve that goal. In 1579, Yasuke's ship landed in Japan. It was a moment that would change the course of his life, and, to a small but unforgettable extent, the course of Japanese history. Chapter 2. Meeting the Demon King. At the time of Yasuke's arrival, Japan was in chaos. The Sengoku period, the age of warring states, had torn the country apart. Warlords known as daimyo battled each other for control. Among them stood one man whose ambition was boundless, Oda Nobunaga. Known as the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, Nobunaga was as feared as he was respected. His dreams of unifying Japan were radical, his methods ruthless. Yet he was also known for his curiosity about the world beyond Japan's shores. When Yasuke was brought before Nobunaga in 1581, it was more than a simple meeting. It was a collision of two worlds. Accounts describe Nobunaga as initially suspecting. Yasuke's skin was painted black. He ordered his attendants to scrub Yasuke's skin, only to find the color was natural. Fascinated, Nobunaga took Yasuke into his service almost immediately. He gifted him a residence, servants, and even a katana, the symbol of the samurai. Yasuke was no longer a mere servant. He was elevated to the ranks of the samurai class. In a society that valued appearance, loyalty, and strength, Yasuke embodied all three. Chapter 3. Yasuke the Samurai. Becoming a samurai was not just a title, it was a way of life. Yasuke trained in the arts of war, learned the code of Bushido, and became a trusted member of Nobunaga's retinue. He was often seen beside Nobunaga, participating in important events and serving as a bodyguard. Nobunaga, always intrigued by the exotic and the novel, found in Yasuke not just a symbol of his openness to the world, but a loyal and capable warrior. Historical records show that Yasuke was present at several major events, including ceremonies and feasts at the height of Nobunaga's power. Some accounts even suggest that Nobunaga taught Yasuke Japanese himself, so that he could integrate more deeply into samurai culture. Imagine the sight: a towering African samurai, clad in full armor, his katana by his side, standing amid the ranks of Japanese warriors, a vivid testament to a time when the world was wider and more interconnected than we often imagine. But Yasuke's time with Nobunaga was destined to be short, as the wheels of history turned towards betrayal and bloodshed. Chapter 4. The Fall of Nobunaga. In June of 1582, tragedy struck. Nobunaga, at the height of his power, was betrayed by one of his own generals, Akechi Mitsuhide. While resting at the temple of Honnoji in Kyoto, Nobunaga was ambushed, with only a handful of loyal followers by his side. Yasuke among them, he realized the battle was lost. Rather than fall into enemy hands, Nobunaga committed seppuku ritual suicide within the burning temple. Yasuke fought valiantly alongside the last defenders. He witnessed the death of the man who had given him a place in Japanese society, a sword and a name. Captured by Akechi's forces, Yasuke was initially treated as a curiosity. rather than an enemy. According to Jesuit sources, Mitsuhide reportedly said that Yasuke was an animal and not truly Japanese, thus sparing him from the fate of Nobunaga's samurai. He was handed over to the Jesuits in Kyoto, a final, symbolic return to the foreign world from which he had come. Chapter 5. Legends and Legacy. What became of Yasuke after that remains a mystery. The historical record falls silent. Some say he returned to the Jesuit missions. Others believe he tried to live quietly in Japan. Perhaps he became a ronin, masterman, samurai, or found work as a bodyguard once again. Yet his legacy lives on. Yasuke has become a symbol of cultural encounter, a man who crossed oceans and shattered expectations. His story has inspired novels, anime, films, and academic studies. He is remembered as the first and only African samurai of feudal Japan. In a world still grappling with questions of identity, belonging, and difference, Yasuke's story is a reminder of the extraordinary paths a single life can take and the bridges that can be built between worlds. Chapter 6. Yasuke in Modern Imagination. Today, Yasuke has found a second life in popular culture. In 2021, Netflix released an animated series loosely based on his life. Musicians, artists, and writers around the world have drawn inspiration from him, blending fact and fantasy to create new legends. But while the modern portrayals are thrilling, the real Yasuke's story needs no embellishment. His true journey from a foreign land, through shipwreck and servitude, to the honored rank of samurai, is powerful enough on its own. He stands as a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and strength. A samurai not by birth, but by honor. Yasuke's life reminds us that history is richer, stranger, and more interconnected than we often think. From across the seas he came, and left a mark that still echoes centuries later across the world.